An evil man named Amaska has appeared. When he arrived, chaos started to spread around the world. Now it's up to you to stop him. Sorry for the quick story summary, but I've already done a guide on Samurai Shodown for the Sega Genesis. This time, I'll be doing a guide on the Game Gear version, which was released around the end of 1994. I don't think I need to mention that many cuts had to be made in this port. Tam Tam, Earthquake, and Kyoshiro was removed, there are less attack buttons overall, character endings are gone, and combos do not exist. No combos might not seem like a big deal since Samurai Shodown at heart has a focus on landing accurate and powerful strikes. But it does lead to some rather weird interactions as moves that dealt multiple hits are now incredibly risky to perform. But I'm getting ahead of myself, let's go over the controls first. Being that this is a Game Gear game, button 1 is slash, button 2 is kick, and pressing both buttons will perform a power slash. You can run by pressing forward twice, backdash by pressing back twice, and of course, you can block by holding back or crouch block by holding down plus back. Samurai Shodown is a one-on-one fighter where you must win the match by winning 2 rounds. At the bottom is the health and power meters. Your power meter will increase as you take damage. Once it's maxed out, your attack power will be greatly increased and the meter will reset after a short duration. Just like the Sega Genesis version, this is a mechanic that's meant to help you come back from a losing fight. But unfortunately, Samurai Shodown on Game Gear has one other feature that I don't think is in the Genesis port. You see, your attack power is also linked to your health, so if your health gets low enough, your attacks and even your grab would deal far less damage than usual. So unless you've already dealt damage beforehand, it can be rather difficult to come back with low health. Now I don't think I need to mention the basics such as normal attacks varying in range, special moves requiring a motion along with a button, block and negating the damage of normal attacks and lowering the damage of special moves, and of course being able to throw your opponent by pressing forward +1 while close. But there are some aspects I do think are worth getting into. Despite the cuts this port had to make, it still tried to keep other aspects that the home consoles have. These include most if not all of the special moves for the available characters, and of course, clashing weapons. At the start of the match or when 2 slash attacks connect, both characters have a chance to clash with each other. Like in the original version, I don't think mashing buttons do anything. Nonetheless, the result can end in both characters losing their weapon, one of them losing their weapon, or nothing at all. You can still become dizzy after taking a lot of damage, but unlike the Genesis version, there's a very interesting exploit to this. When you're dizzy, you won't be able to act and you will have to mash the buttons to recover. However, if you do dizzy the opponent, you can time your attack so that it hits them on the first frame they stand up. If done successfully, it will dizzy the opponent again. This allows you to perform re-dizzies that will outright end the match. Or you could just grab them once with Genon and mash the buttons fast enough to just win the entire round. I'll go over a bit more throughout the long play. As usual, if you want an in-depth guide with a move list, you can check out the link in the description below. Without further ado, let's start Samurai Shodown. A samurai fears nothing, struggles to triumph over evil, and lives for one purpose. To destroy all enemies. Why did I pause it? Anyways, this is my long play on Samurai Shodown. This is a run I've already done in advance. I don't think I'll be commentating throughout the entire run, but I will explain, I'm gonna try to explain anything that I left out in the intro. So yeah, the difficulty really doesn't matter. You can beat this game on easy or hard to get the entire experience. Continues, you can leave it on infinite or not. Again, continuing in this game has no consequence, so you can continue as many times as you want, I like to believe. And yeah, so here's the roster. Now you might notice that Amaska is unlocked in the bottom right. To unlock him, you have to press right 3 times on the Takara logo, or you can just beat the game and he'll be unlocked after. So for this playthrough, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, I will be using Galford because I do want to show off more of his draw glitch. If anyone's seen that video, I'll probably put a link to it in the description. But he does have a really interesting draw glitch, which you will see throughout this run. And I'm sorry if my voice is I'm a little bit under the weather, but it's not too bad. Anyways, so Samurai Shodown Game Gear, pretty simple. There's not much to it. You're going to see me use a glitch here. And for anyone who hasn't seen the video, oh, there it is. So for anyone who hasn't seen the video, the glitch is pretty simple. You wanna, you can either draw out Plasma Blade, which is that move, and then draw out the dog also. I don't think the dog attack you use matters. There are 3 different, like, dog attacks, like Rush Dog, Machine Gun Dog. As long as you use it during Plasma Blade and it connects, then you get the glitch out. And that's how the glitch works in a nutshell. You can also do it by, canceling your first Plasma Blade by doing it again. I keep confusing the name. I hope it's not called like Plasma Wave. I'm pretty sure it's called Plasma Blade. I might have made that mistake in the video of the glitches. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do for most of the run. Though Galford does have some good buttons. I think I'll start using that later. Like I don't resort to this throughout the entire run. But you don't have to. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have to play this way in order to get through the game, because the game itself is, I mean, considering I've already mentioned a lot in the intro, I might as well get into like how I feel about this game. So the game itself, honestly, for a Game Gear port, like, you know, of course it's gonna have like flickering sprites and all that, but for a Game Gear port, this is really freaking good, yo. Like, you think of like plenty of I mean, I haven't played a lot of fighting game ports on the go, but this is definitely one of the best I've played in a while. And I say one of the best because I think, I don't know if Fate Fury Special was before or after this. It's made by the Game Gear port was also made by Takara. But to this day, so far, like Fate Fury Special is still my favorite Game Gear port. My favorite fighting game on the Game Gear, because it's just it's a really solid port, and like I love it a lot. And it has 2 players, which is unfortunate for this game, because Samurai Shodown on the Game Gear doesn't have 2 players. Which in retrospect, it kind of made it a little difficult to make a guide on this, because like it's hard to fully understand how these moves, like even a glitch for that matter, how these moves interact, because I have to test them against the CPU, and of course they're random. So making the guide to this game led to a lot of me like load stating just to see like certain outcomes and whatnot, like if they block it, if they don't block it, all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't too bad. Thankfully, I gotta say about the CPU, they're acceptable. It's not too bad. Like, you can actually go in and press buttons. Of course, there are times where they're pretty cheap, like they're anti-air and all that. But honestly, for what? Oh wow, that's a really good move. I forgot about that. So yeah, that move, I forgot what it's called. I think it was called like Ninja Replicate, something like that. And depending on which button you execute it with is like button 1, button 2, or like button 1 plus 2. Galford would teleport to one of the clones. It's an alright move, but it's definitely not something you need. And oh, right there, I think I did the Dizzy glitch. So, well, not really, because he was already dead. But I mentioned in the intro that if you Dizzy someone and you hit them on the frame they get up, like the first hittable frame, they'll get dizzy again. And I think I do that at least once in this playthrough. I could be wrong. And the way to do it, at least with Galford, I usually you can either draw a Plasma Blade so that it's touching them as they're getting up, or you can like time a Heavy Slash. Since it kinda lingers there for a bit, it's not too hard to time. It's pretty good. So yeah, damn, that grab it's so freaking good, yo. Ooh, I got it. Damn, twice in a row? Really? Yeah, that was a really good round. I even got the Dizzy. Probably should have went for the Dizzy loop there. But yeah, what else can I say about this game? It's just it's pretty solid. There are some, I still don't know if the durability mechanic is actually in this, because it shows it in the manual that, like, you know, when you clash weapons, they can lose durability. But since I can only play against the CPU, like, it's very, and you know, I have to depend on them hitting me at the same time in order to like trigger it. Wait, why is she still? Wow, she was still glowing. Yeah, I gotta say, Galford's grab glitch, his grab glitch, his grab. Well, I'm trying to. Wow, I can't even. Oh, my English is so terrible right now. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is that Galford's grab glitch can sometimes cause graphical issues like that, where you see Charlotte still glowing, as if she got hit by the plasma blade. And yeah, that was a cutscene. It's the same cutscenes as the arcade and Genesis versions. It just has like, you know, a Moscow talking to you every now and then. which I'll give the game that. At least they kept that close, but it is unfortunate that it's really unfortunate that they don't have like the character endings. I think they could have at least had like text or something. But considering the gameplay here is actually pretty solid, I'm okay with that. Like a solid gameplay above all else. That's what I say. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this game. I pretty much I feel like I said everything I wanted to in the intro. As for what I think this game's pretty good. I like it a lot. I definitely don't like it as much as, say, like Fate of Fury Special. But again, that game did come out after, so like I'll give Takara the benefit of the doubt. But both games are really good, I think. And yeah, from here I'm just going to like put myself on mute. I feel like I've already said everything, and I'm going to sound really redundant, especially for those who've already seen my speedrun of this, in which I pretty much like already said plenty there as well. Of course, I don't need to mention that Genon is really ridiculous in this game. If he grabs you once and mashes the buttons, the match is over. The only exception is if Genon has low HP and like, you know, the low attack power actually affects his grab, so he can't actually one-shot you anymore. But yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoy the rest of this long play. If anything, I'll be back when we get up to Amaska, as I do have some things to say about that fight in particular. And yeah, now we're up to Amaska. So, Amaska in the Genesis, pretty much in most of the other ports, he's really good because he's a boss character, obviously. Like he has if you press light punch, he does a slap that combos into itself and knocks down. I think it's the crouching version. And yeah, in this game, he's still really strong, but considering Gennon and Galford, I don't think he's as like how can I put this? Maybe like that projectile right there, the aberration attack where he shoots the spirit. That's really good, so I think that alone makes him solid. But honestly, I think he's like fair considering what like characters like Galford and Gennon can do. Like Galford's glitch or Gennon's ridiculous grab and all that. But more importantly is because I don't remember if it happens in this match, but when you oh yeah, by the way, he still has the laugh, which is weird because you know this game has no like voice samples. To do that you press both buttons while full screen away. Oh wow, an item appeared, that's rare. Items usually appear when the match goes on for a very long time. So oh wow, and I got tossed. Okay, so the thing with Amaska is that the slap move where he's standing or crouching, since this game has no combos, it's nowhere near as strong as it should be. Because in the previous games it would do a lot because it's like comboing you, but because there's only one hits here, his weak attacks is nowhere near as good. Dare I say they're kind of bad, but they are fast, so that doesn't mean they're like unusable. So right there, you can see that in one hit he lost half of his health. That's the biggest weakness about Amaska, is that in the Genesis version, when he teleported away, he'd just laugh and be invincible, and that's the same thing here. But for some reason, and I don't understand why, when he teleports, he takes the same amount of damage that caused it in the first place. So example, like you hit him with like a heavy slash, that's 25%, he teleports away in like the Genesis version, right? When he does it in this game, you know, you do your heavy slash, or I should say power slash, it takes away 25%, but the teleport makes it do another 25%. And it's just, yeah, like right there, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if he can do this while he's low on HP. I think I was trying to anti-air him there with a heavy punch. I think that move did that second attack do 0 damage? And I could be wrong, but alright, I think I was. Hopefully I'm not like bugging out that like Galford and Amaska was on a higher plane, but maybe that's just me. But yeah, that is Samurai Shodown for the Game Gear. You'll always get this. Oh, I might have to darken the screen when we get to this part. This is very bright, but yeah, game's pretty simple. Everyone just has I think they say their win quote and their ending quote, so this is Galford's ending quote right here. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. So it just shows his ending quote for him. Sometimes when I played it with like Gennon or Amaska, it just showed both quotes for some reason. But yeah, pretty solid game. I did enjoy making a guide on this one, and I enjoyed playing it. So I hope you enjoyed this long play, and with that said, I'll see you later.